David Feherty from CBS, the Golf Channel analyst. You got PGA Tour that's here in town, Phoenix, and the Waste Management Open. Tiger Woods is going to play in that. But David has some responsibilities. The Emmy-nominated David Feherty, the Feherty Live during Super Bowl week. And both shows will air live on Golf Channel tomorrow night and Thursday night at 10 Eastern. Okay, you're dressed immaculately, but you have a sling.
Yeah, it doesn't really go with the outfit.
No, but what happened? Is that a prop?
No, it's not a prop, unfortunately. We had a fun idea for the Open. My producers had a fun idea. It wasn't so much fun for me, as it turns out. And I really separated the shoulder very badly about 8.5 years ago. I got run over by a truck. And the short version is it involved me running in the desert, a Mexican sagebush, and a front somersault in the full tuck position, landing on that shoulder and chipping a piece of bone off.
This sounds like a Robert Allenby story.
Well, yeah, except I was kidnapped by a Mexican sagebush. Yeah.
So what's the recovery time here?
It's basically just rest, that kind of thing. But, you know, it is a related note. Instead of taking me to the ER, they took me to a Mexican restaurant. And we completed the shoot, I did, in agony.
How far could you hit the ball one-handed, one arm?
Oh,
in your peak days, when you were dominating the PGA Tour.
Well, any right-handed player will hit it a lot farther with his left arm. You know, it's basically a left-handed game. You know, for a right-handed player, that's the one you lead with. So, yeah, I mean, I can hit it quite a long way, one-handed. Yeah.
Give me an idea, like 220?
Maybe that. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that's the only reason why I wanted to have you on. So,
okay,
we appreciate you.
All right. Well, yeah.
How many Super Bowls have you been to?
I was at Indianapolis, the one in Dallas. I've never actually been to the game. Never been to the game, but I've been, you know, in the vicinity several times.
When you were growing up in Northern Ireland, how curious were you about the Super Bowl?
Not really. The Super Bowl in Northern Ireland usually has a handle attached to it, or a chain, you know, some of the older ones.
But you didn't care about the Super Bowl?
No, it wasn't even aware of it.
You couldn't even, was it televised?
No, not when I was growing up, no.
Favorite NFL player?
My favorite NFL player? Michael Strahan, retired.
Yeah.
One of the most, and I don't know him, but I look at him and I think, I really like that man. He is just, you know, he has that appealing kind of just looked like such a nice man.
And talented, too.
Yes.
Talented. I want to thank you for, having me as the subject of Feherty Live a couple of weeks ago.
It was a great show. I loved it.
And you made me cry a little bit.
You know, I'm getting like...
yeah, what's the story with that?
Barbara Walters?
Yeah, it was kind of mean-spirited. Because I said, I'll sit down, don't make me cry.
Yeah, I know, but I've had so many people cry that I don't know what it is. I think I just have that effect on people.
But you know how Irish are.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hopeless.
Do you cry a lot?
Yes.
Easily?
Very easily.
How can I make you cry right now?
Well, you could try and move my elbow out sideways. Yeah. Yeah, believe me, there's a lot of involuntary yelling going on over here.
If I showed you your tour stats, would that make you cry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, you had 10 wins, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, but there was, you know, it was sort of peaks and valleys, mostly valleys. You know, my peaks were like Rory McIlroy's valleys. Yeah.
Explain this Robert Allenby story to me.
Oh, good luck with that one.
Because he got kidnapped, but he also signed a receipt for, what, $3,400 at a strip club in Hawaii?
It sounds like he may have paid his own ransom. Yes. Not sure.
Okay, but it's normally the caddies who are crazy on tour, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Not always, though. No. I mean, they're...
Without naming names.
Yeah.
Anything... Because John Daly is the king.
Well, yeah.
With crazy stories. So
yeah,
you can
much.
attach his name to it, but...
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who it was that won in New Orleans a few years ago. Also got kidnapped. And had to run... He left him without his shoes, and he ran back. He ended up holding a bunker shot to win that week, and I can't remember who it was, but it was a fairly sordid story that didn't quite get out until after the event.
Craziest caddy story.
Oh, I can't. Really
You don't have to.
there.
You have to go names.
Well, no, well, it's not the names; it's the content. But I'll tell you a short, you know, funny one. You like to be on the same page as your caddy, and in my case, Rodney. who worked for me for 13 years. It was never even in the same library as me. He didn't see the same colors. He was up most nights drinking cleaning products, I think. And I hadn't asked him a question on golf in about several years, and we were playing at Portmarnock, the sixth hole, dogleg par 5. It's got a little water hazard in the corner, and I looked over at it, and he was staring out into the Irish Sea, in a 1,000-yard daze. And I said, Rodney, he goes, what? I said, do you think we should try to carry that water? It's about 235 yards. It was a 3-wood then, so like a 6-iron now. And he said, what water? I said, on the corner of the dogleg there. He says, oh, no. He says, there's no point. I said, what do you mean there's no point? He says, well, you can't drink it. I said, no, not carry it that way.
Well, there was also, wasn't it Rich Beam's caddy?
Steve.
Who wrote a
yes.
a
Steve
tell-all.
Duplantis, who was tragically, he was killed in San Diego.
There was a tell-all with the caddies, and that was sort of behind the scenes.
Yes.
They pulled back the curtain there.
Yeah.
He's David Feherty, the Feherty Live. So you got tomorrow night and Thursday night. This is live at 10 Eastern on the Golf Channel. Who do you have on tomorrow?
Well, I honestly am a little confused about it. I don't know what order they're in. We've got Tom Arnold, Greg Kinnear. We've got football players, Herm Edwards, Chris Collinsworth, Al Michaels. We've got Gary McCord, Rocco Mediate.
Oh, man.
We've got Heinz Ward, Rodney Harrison. We've got Robbie Gould coming on to teach me how to kick, which is going to be very interesting. And I think I've missed at least one or two people there.
Tiger's not on, is he?
No.
He's not?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we were going to have Al Sharpton. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because he wanted on. But no, yeah, it's not as easy to get on my show as it is to get in the White House, apparently.
Any chance for Tiger this year that this funk kind of ends and he wins a major? I guess he's got a chance, but what are his chances?
Well, if he's healthy, yeah, sure. I'm not sure if he's durable enough. He's had such a litany of injury over the last 6 or 7 years, it seems, that that has to be the big question. If he's fit, people have forgotten what happens when he plays well. Really short memories. When he plays well, he wins.
Yeah.
And he doesn't actually have to play all that well, as it turns out. The last comeback that he made, he really hasn't played well in, I don't know, close to 8 or 9 years, really, by his own standards.
But how much of this becomes mental?
I think a lot of it is.
Because we understand the physical nature of it with, an actual injury that you can see or hear about or treat. But the mental part of it, we don't see that. That's not something that, we can kind of open up a window and say, okay, you're fragile.
Yeah, but anybody who plays golf knows that's, and that's the great thing about golf. The people that are coming here to watch the Super Bowl, they don't play football anymore. So maybe they never did, but they're interested in the game. Golf fans are still suffering. They play the game, and it doesn't matter what level you play it at. That's 3 or 4 footer. It can happen to the best in the world. It can happen to the worst. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but if you were going to say, I see this happening for Tiger, your crystal ball is going to, what happens this year?
I'd be surprised it all depends on whether he's healthy. If he's healthy, I'd be surprised if he doesn't contend, in a major.
But at some point, you wonder because he doesn't want to go out there and embarrass himself because he played at such a high level. Can he play even if he knows that he's not the old Tiger, that he's not going to be a great player, that he's a good player?
Yes. Yeah, he loves the game.
He would be content with just being a good player?
No, he wouldn't be content. But I don't think he would ever believe that he'd be just a good player. I think he still has that, his willpower and, his frustration level and his desire to prove people wrong, I think will drive him, for a lot of years. Jack won his last one when he was 46.
Well, good luck with Feherty Live tomorrow night and Thursday night, 10 Eastern, Golf Channel. Feherty Live, right?
Yeah.
And good luck with the shoulder, more importantly.
Well, No, I'll take the show. Never mind the shoulder. It's not good. It's not going to be good.
Well, keep your head up, all right?
Right.
He's
Head up where?
CBS Golf Channel analyst David Feherty.